Yes, you can make a healthier, higher in protein mint chocolate chip ice cream without an ice cream maker. We're mixing high protein cottage cheese until it is smooth and creamy. Then we're flavoring it with mint extract and natural sweeteners, including maple syrup and your choice of chocolate chips that meet your dietary needs. Then it goes right into the freezer and it's ready to enjoy in as little as 2 hours. Hello there, my name is Nicole Bonilla and I am so glad you're here. If you love all natural, healthier recipes like I do, then you are in the right place. We're going to start by mixing together our ice cream, and you could use either an upright blender or an immersion blender or a food processor like I am. We're going to start by adding 1.5 cups of cottage cheese, and you could use large curd or small curd, whatever your preference. I like using full fat cottage cheese for the creamiest texture. Then we're going to add 1/3 cup of maple syrup. You could also use honey, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and for peppermint, I'm adding 1/4 teaspoon of peppermint extract. But you could always add a little bit more once you have it all mixed together if you want that peppermint flavor to be even stronger. Then I'll add a pinch of salt, and this is optional, but I'm going to add some drops of some all-natural green food coloring. And then we'll just put on the lid and then mix it on high for about a minute or until it's completely blended smooth. But halfway through, I like to go in with my spatula and just scrape down the sides just to make sure that all those little cottage cheese curds get incorporated. And then we'll mix it for about another 30 seconds. Well, that looks fantastic and smells so good. And now's a really good time to come in for a sample. And this lets you test the sweetness level as well as the amount of mint. For me, they're perfect, but if you'd like to make it a little bit sweeter, you could always add in a little bit more maple syrup. Next, you'll want to take a shallow bowl or dish, and then we're simply going to pour our ice cream right into it. This really could not be any easier. And then we'll take our spatula and simply spread it out in our dish. The advantage of using a shallower dish means that it's going to freeze faster, which means we can enjoy it faster. Now to add the chocolate chip to our mint chocolate chip ice cream, I'm using 1/3 cup of some chocolate chips. And you can decide if you want to have your chocolate bits chopped up a little bit smaller, or you can just dump them right into your ice cream as is. I'm going to do a rough chop on mine just so I have a mixture of some bigger chunks as well as some small flecks. And then we simply dump them right on top of the ice cream. And I'll take my spatula and just mix them right in. Chocolate mint ice cream is one of my favorites. When I was a little girl, my mom would take me to Thrifty ice cream after my dance lesson, and I would always pick mint chocolate chip ice cream. Well, this looks fantastic, and now it's ready to go into the freezer for about 2 to 3 hours or until frozen. Well, here's a batch that I made yesterday and then I froze overnight. Now, cottage cheese ice cream is different than traditional ice cream in that it does become solid when frozen. So all you have to do is take it out of the freezer and then set it on your counter and then allow it to thaw for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then it will become soft and creamy and really easy to scoop. So I have a bowl here that's been sitting out on my counter for about 15 minutes and it is perfect. I can scoop right down into it and it has the exact same texture as regular ice cream. Crunchy chocolate. That's the best part. That is delicious. That has the perfect amount of minty flavor and has the same creamy texture as regular ice cream. And I love the fact that it's naturally sweetened and made with all natural ingredients, which means I'm going to feel just as good even after I eat it. But it is still a treat, and so it will need to be eaten in moderation. And with all of my sweet recipes, I'm always trying to add the least amount of sweetener, but still make them emotionally satisfying. And this ice cream checks both boxes. And I'm so grateful that I can share these creatively healthy recipes so that you can enjoy them too. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today in my kitchen. I've included a link to the full recipe, and it's in the video description below, and it takes you to my website, gentletummy.com. And I also invite you to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you know someone else who you think would love this recipe, please share this video with them. And I cannot wait to have you hang out with me again in my kitchen.